What's going on, y'all? Lucky Dipper here. Title of the video, it's been 10 years. Probably wondering, it's been 10 years since what? Well, I've actually been in Kentucky for 10 years. It's been 10 years since I moved down here. If you don't have one in, pack one with me and we'll have a story time while I work on this car. Today, we got some Cougar wintergreen. Well, it's the end of that can. Alright. There's that. Story time while I work on this car. We're putting a headlight in today. So in 2016, we moved to Kentucky. She was 8 months pregnant with our first child together. So we ended up leaving Michigan and coming down here to the good old bluegrass state. Now why? I'm not really gonna open up too much about that. There's a lot of reasons. Let's just say it's not really safe to raise a kid where we were at. But we moved down here about 10 years ago. And it's actually crazy to see how far I've come in the last 10 years. And how much I've learned and everything else. Last 10 years, I've actually become a mechanic by necessity. Because, you know, the car's falling apart. Alright. Got that out. A headlight in the old Impala here. 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this by myself. I've actually learned a lot since then. Alright. Let's hope this is the right part. In 2016, I bought a car with $300 in loose change. And yes, actual loose change. Oh, geez, I don't know if that's supposed to come off like that. I've been working at the Salvation Army, which I don't know if I can talk about that or whatever, but I'm working there, and I had saved a bunch of change. And yeah, I found this 1998 Chevy Cavalier 2-door for $300. It had 470,000 miles. Now, it was really just to get me, you know, around. But it actually lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. Okay, let's make sure I put this thing in right. So, realized we had the wrong part. Now I gotta put this damn thing back together and go back to Advance Auto or O'Reilly. Freaking ridiculous. So we bought a car for $300. Had 470-some thousand miles. And we packed it up one day. We packed everything in it. She was 8 months pregnant. The passenger window didn't roll down. This thing was loud as hell. It took $35 to make it 420 miles. Which, that's actually crazy. I looked at the car a little bit. I didn't know as much about mechanic work then as I do now. But I looked at it, and it looked like it had some stuff done to it. A bigger gas tank or something. But yeah, that was 10 years ago. That car blew up within 6 months of us living here. But it passed over 500,000 miles, which is pretty good. And which is the reason that I prefer Chevy over Ford. I had a Ford once and it blew up on us. Quick monster break. Today's flavor, apple. Alright, after 2 trips to the part store. Finally got the right part. People at part stores really don't know what they're talking about or what they're doing, do they? It's ridiculous. Finally got the right one. All right. First things first, pull up the clip. You know, the one thing I get asked when about living down here is, where are you from? And it's because everybody says that I have an accent. I don't have that southern drawl that a lot of people have here. So I get asked where I'm from a lot. It's different. I was telling Michigan, I mean, honestly, it's just, you know. Do I sound like I have a southern accent? Let me know in the comments if I do. Alright, almost got this off here. So in the past 10 years of being down here, one, I've learned that it is much colder up north and that you don't get a lot of snow here. You get some, but not a lot. It's much colder up there and you get a lot more. And two, down here, they have a lot more one-lane roads and it's a lot harder to drive on the mountains and stuff like that. Alright. This bolt out. Let's hit this one. On time I've been here, I think I've had like 4 cars. One blew up, one we sold, 2 we sold. One blew up, and this is the 4th one. All right. Headlights off. You know, when I first started this back in my older videos, you'll see me in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. My first video was actually filmed in my 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. That thing was held together by duct tape and God's will. Yeah, that was a lot harder than it should have been. All right, let's open this up here. It's hard to believe I've actually been down here for a decade. But people always ask me, like when I'm in the store, I tell them I'm from Michigan, you know. They always ask me, which one do you like better? And to be honest, I don't really know. They're both the same to me. All right, let's make sure this is the right part, so I'm not going back to that store again. They both have their ups and downs. But if I had to say, I'd probably say Kentucky. In my opinion, there's 3 things that this state is known for, which is basketball, drugs, and hold on, it'll come to me. Gotta finish that basketball, drugs, and I can't remember the 3rd thing. I had it, just can't remember it. All right, we got this light plugged in. Let's see if it works. Turns out the idiot at the parts store was wrong. I went in there and he told me that my old bulb was just fine. Well, I put the new one in and it works. The old one does not. Moron. I knew that was the problem. You know, why do they hire people at these parts stores that have no clue what they're talking about? It's quite ridiculous. I look back, and one question that I commonly get is, would I do it all over again? And the answer, yes, I would. I would move down here again if given the chance. I think that getting out of Michigan was probably the best thing that could have happened. Luckily, I had, you know, a place to go. I'm gonna drop apart. Let's get this back on here. What have I learned in the last 10 years? Quite a bit, actually. Learned how to work on cars. Learned that there's a lot more things in life to offer in different states. Michigan, they offer help here that they didn't offer up north. Yeah, I'm kidding. There we go. Let me know, do you guys prefer Chevys or Fords? For me, a Chevy, 100%. Alright. Let's get this back on here. Here we go. It's working. Cart stool's a moron. I know that I've never really shown many mechanic videos or me working on stuff, but I do occasionally. And I may end up showing more videos like that if y'all like this one. Let me know down in the comments if y'all got any questions or anything like that. So, if given the chance to do it all over again and move from Michigan to Kentucky, would I take it? In a heartbeat. I wouldn't change anything because it's made me who I am and the person I am today. So, that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, and we'll see you guys in the next one.